Summer Smackdown, Boss Rush Week 5, whatever you want to call it, Epsilon is here, and as well we're going to go over some counters, some known counters to a lot of the champions in here, some options for team selection, and as well, can you believe we are 1 week away from the Omega Quest thing, Boss Rush, 31 fight, scuff. Where has the time gone? Yeah, next week. It's going to be painful. Good luck. But I digress, let's get into the full minutiae of the video. There's going to be a little pop-up saying like champions that I use, ones that I may recommend based on known counters, and as well just other like tidbits of information. Let's do it. Okay, let's look at the different champions that are on the screen, starting off with Squirrel Girl. To be honest, this is a pretty straightforward fight. Any bleed immune champion would be fine, but as well if you're good at evading the SP1, just anything, really, anything. Archangel, Colossus, those are two champions I used against this. Aggressive, nothing to worry about. Parry heavy method when he champions. Domino could be quite handy down the line. There's a whole host of champions that could go very nicely against this. I would say robot attackers, as said by cutting wires, would be a no-no to go against this. But there are many options in order to take down Squirrel Girl. I think a lot of players will just easily get through this. With Nova, even though the champion is not advised to use, say, Dr. Doom, which Dr. Doom has very much a, well, heavy attack method to suppress things like the Fury buffs gained by Nova. It is up to you if you want to go a bit risky. I did. I just thought, why not? But there's so many other options as long as you don't use champions to do parry heavy. And as well, if you're looking to power control, it will cause some issues, especially if you are power draining, power locking, burning, or stealing. Champions that just do a lot of debuffs could be very handy. Those that maybe suppress, and I would say it would be quite fun to use Morningstar. I only really consider that as just a quick thing there. That if you wanted to throw an SP2 of Morningstar, then that would be quite cool, especially if you're building up Fury attacks on this enemy. And yeah, especially by personal space, you can really maximize a huge amount of damage. I might even see if I can squeeze that particular video clip into the video if I remember to do that particular fight. Next up, and Longshot. Now, there are some pluses and minuses to this. On the face of it, looking at something like Return to Sender means you're like, hey, for a Ghost fan, I want to be about that. But the answer is no. I would say for this, and even I tried like using Colossus, the biggest issue with this, even though it's bleed immune, is the critical resistance. Yes, critical resistance. It can be nullified, and I think that mainly then switches the type of champions to use against this. If you're not very good at avoiding the SP2, stick the champion to SP1 only. I did utilize Warlock for this, but I wanted to down the line use something like Domino, especially if I'm being bled. That could be handy, especially then shoot bleed back at the enemy. Not so much for the critical damage, because that's another thing that I just don't think that's not going to work, okay? There's critical resistance there. That ain't going to work. I would recommend, and a champion that I use and I've got some footage of, is dormmamu. Yes, being bleed immune, power controlling off of the SP2, SP1 with a nullification of the critical resistance, and as well, yeah, okay, Limber is there, but it was fine. I did make, I think, one mistake with a fight, but still, look, I got through that with dormmamu, and it's like, it's still a cool option if you are struggling for any other options, and you just got yourself a dormmamu. Next up, moving on to Mojo. This champion is great if you've got Cap Infinity War, Human Torch, Hulk Ragnarok, and Quake. Now, for me, I've got a very strong Captain America Infinity War. I don't have a Human Torch, sad times, but enough about me. Hulk Ragnarok and Quake are really cool options, and especially if you want to throw Hulk Rags and go against, I think it's the Face Me with the D-Gen, and depending on how you want to play the champion, you can get some real strong utilization of that champion. But Quake, you know, Quake's fantastic, and a lot of players would use it. Avoid the death field as much as possible. And as well, look out for some of the other little nodes. As well, Rising Sun is when a defender is struck, the attacker gains a Fury buff. Once the attacker has 10 Fury buffs, they additionally... this sounds like Icarus. That's very weird. It's called Rising Sun, but to me it sounds a little bit like Icarus. Yeah, I mean, I like to do like a heavy attack in order to shrug them off. That's probably the best thing to do. But yeah, do watch out for that. I don't know if the likes of Red Guardian would be cool against this, but it's one of these iffy options that just you think off the top of your head. Either way, like I said, it's all about Beardo, it's all about Human Torch, Hulk Ragnarok, and Quake so far. Good counters for Mojo, that is. Now another champion, as I said, could be good against this would be Morningstar. Morningstar is something, again, that could be quite off the top of my head to use, especially with adaptive. If you're building the physical resistance and energy resistance, then it means you can smash with an SP2 quite nicely. But do watch out with the parries. I would say if you can intercept as much as possible, and as well just keep the champion thrown to the SP1. Look out for the lightning bolt that travels along the bottom floor on the SP1. You swipe away from that, and a further swipe away as him with the Giganto Jr. throws themselves at you, and then it's a case you just hit through. So if you can, start up the fight as quickly as possible to build the champion past the SP1, and just let the champion throw the SP1, get tired, you then hit in through, rinse and repeat, and it should be absolutely fine. Now when it comes to Terex, there's a few options to take this champion down. I first of all use Namor. I'm going to try and see if I can put some extra footage of other champions I'm using. Bishop has been highly rated in the past as a counter to this champion, and especially with some of the nodes that have been placed with him, could be relatively good options, especially if you've used an awaken version with the persistent charges to then take from one fight to another. Bishop could be very handy. Magik, SP2, possibly. Cat Marvel movie, yeah, okay. Quick build up to the binary charges and go into binary ignition, and you're able to do a lot of damage. Of course, that could be a cool asset. Gladiator Hulk with the SP2 being thrown, yeah, okay. That's definitely an option to power control and suppress the power gain. And as well with Beardo for a little combination in there. Possibly looking to petrify, of course, could be a cool option as well. There's going to be a few options against Terex. Namor is the #1 with the bullet, and yeah, if I can think of any others, I will put it in this video. But yeah, those are the champion options. Avoid the field when he goes into the crazy kind of rock field thing. Keep your distance. Same thing with Mojo. Treat this fight a bit like Mojo-esque, and try to keep the champion to the SP1 as much as possible. But yeah, really fun this week. There we have it. There's been a quick video of a few counters to take down this content. If I can add a few more than what I've put in the description, I will do. And welcome anybody in the comment section. If you've got some better options to take against the content, some little tips, then do put it in the comment section to help out a fellow summoner if you feel that I've not adequately covered everything that is a suitable counter for this. But in any case, thank you very much for watching this video. And check out some content recently posted here and also in the far left hand corner. Also Rich's Realm, I have uploaded a video from yesterday, and I'll be trying to upload another video as well today. Fingers crossed. In any case, see you in the next one. Bye bye for now.